So it's happening again. The minority toxic Xbox fanboys are freaking out about Gran Turismo 7 and the fact that it didn't get as high of a score as Forza Horizon 5. And there's this whole thing going on. We don't even have user scores yet for Gran Turismo 7 on Metacritic yet. And I'm kind of scared because I'm actually recording this the day before Gran Turismo 7 officially launches. A bunch of people already have hands-on with it, obviously. There's obviously the critic reviews that have rolled in. I've actually been playing it myself. But what's weird is that, again, there's always those kind of minority toxic fanboy groups, right? I don't even like using that word, but it's basically what it is, right? I don't mean fanboy in the sense of like you're a hardcore fan of that company. That's not what I consider a fanboy. I consider a fanboy people that are basically toxic, right? That are ripping on the other console, the competing console, for every and no reason whatsoever, right? The people that literally just make things out of nothing. The people that start and make the console wars and continue the console wars. Those are the people I'm talking about. If you are a hardcore Xbox fan, I'm not talking about you. If you're a hardcore PlayStation fan, I'm not even talking about you. I don't care if you're a massive fan. I don't care if you have Xbox or PlayStation or whoever tattooed on your forehead. That's not what I'm talking about. You could be a massive fan. Nothing wrong with that. The problem is when people start taking it to these extents where they're just being really, really toxic and it's annoying. Now, here's the funny thing. I'm not even looking for this stuff. I'm just scrolling on Twitter. For some reason, a mixture of either people liking or retweeting or whatever, or, you know, how sometimes Twitter recommends you, you know, other accounts, which I don't know why they're recommending me these accounts, like out of all people, why they recommending these accounts to me makes no sense to me. But I've been seeing some threads on Twitter that's just been, it's super crazy and toxic, and it seems as though a lot of these, again, this is a minority group. I'm not talking or representing you know, the entirety of the Xbox fan base. Where I'm sitting from, let me just preface this really quick before we continue in this conversation. Where I'm sitting, okay, this is where I'm sitting, all right? PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox. I love games. I don't give a crap what you play on, dude. I love games. That's it. I'll play on my PlayStation. I'll play on my Xbox. I'll play on my Nintendo. I love games. I have preferences, sure. But at the end of the day, I don't care, man. I don't care. What does it matter? What is this whole kind of, you know, thing, rivalry start? Now, if you have a preference, that's fine. Again, I don't care. If you're a hardcore Xbox fan or PlayStation fan or Nintendo, whatever. You know, it doesn't even matter. But once you take it to these extremes, it's like, what are you doing, bro? So let me get into it. Again, we don't even have user critics yet on Metacritic to go off of, and this is getting scary. First things first, if we head over to Metacritic for Gran Turismo 7, it has an overall score, a critic score from 85 critics of 88. That's a pretty good score in my opinion, right? It's a pretty good score for a racing game. And, you know, if you look at the scores, there's a lot of 9s, there's a lot of 10s. And there's a lot of people giving it like, you know, 8.5s and things like that as well. But it's a pretty solid game, especially considering if you look up like Gran Turismo Sport, which I actually haven't looked up. Gran Turismo Sport has a 75, right? It was not that great of a game comparatively. Do we have Gran Turismo 1 on here? No, we don't. We have, or hold on. Oh yeah, we do. We do have the original Gran Turismo. The original got a 96. It was a really good game, let's be honest, okay. But then if we look up like Forza Horizon 5, we have Forza Horizon 5 clocking in at 92. That's a 4-point difference. Guys, 4-point difference. Whoop-de-freaking do. They're two different games. I love Forza Horizon 5 so much. It is such a great game. I love it. I love it. I am not here to talk about, oh, Forza's better than Gran Turismo, or Gran Turismo is better than Forza. They're two different games. Forza Horizon 5 is more of an arcadey kind of style game. It's more open world, more street racing kind of style. It's a whole different category of racing altogether. Gran Turismo 7 is a realistic racing simulator. That's not going to necessarily jive with everybody. It is the most realistic racing simulator to date. Not everybody wants a realistic game, right? We're talking here at this point, you know, we got games like just in the skateboarding realm. We have Tony Hawk Pro Skater, Super Arcadey, EA Skate, kind of in the middle between realistic simulator and arcadey. And then we got games that are more realistic, you know, kind of more like a realistic simulator like Skater XL and Session. There's different genres within every category. But I see these again, this minority group comparing Gran Turismo 7 to Forza Horizon 5, saying things like, see, PlayStation can't even get a 9 out of 10. They can't even hit the 90s. Meanwhile, Forza Horizon 5 over here on Xbox is a 92 out of 100. We are doing great over here on the Xbox side. Who cares? Who bloody cares? There are two different games, number one. Number two, an 88 is still a great score. I mean, again, I'm not here trying to like defend one game or the other. I think both games are fantastic in and of themselves. I've been having a ton of fun with Gran Turismo 7, and I've had a ton of fun with Forza Horizon 5. Again, they're two different, genres. Some people might prefer one over the other. Whoop-de-doo. Let's check some of these threads out. I might actually blur out some of the ats on Twitter because I don't want to give them, that kind of recognition. But I see one person. Let's start with one person who talked about, the Xbox One era DRM, and that's what's happening with, Gran Turismo 7, because apparently Gran Turismo 7 requires an online connection. The funny thing is, there's a lot of games, actually, that if you try to play offline, it's going to say that you need an online connection. A lot of, games have kind of snuck in that online, DRM kind of style. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know the word I'm looking for, but anyways, the whole online all the time, thing, they kind of snuck it in, right? And a lot of games have that. Not every game, obviously. I don't know which games do and don't, but apparently Gran Turismo 7, it's all connected online, part of the social hub. Will they ever allow you to play it offline? I mean, that would be ideal, but the point is that this whole thread kind of starts with that. And then you kind of get into the whole replies, which I'm not even going to, kind of throw up. I might throw up, let's be honest. I don't know. But we got people going off on this thread, it's basically, and it becomes this whole fan war between like PlayStation versus Xbox. You got people that are defending PlayStation, people defending Xbox, and they're going at war. Like, what is the point? What is the freaking point of this? It just doesn't make sense to me. People are just like so crazy. So that's one thread that randomly was recommended to me, and I was like, bro, why? I'm not even following any of these people, and I don't even think anybody I follows these people. I'm not really sure. But then there was another one. And this one was definitely just trying to spark a fire, man. I'll show you guys this one. So this person goes off to say that only one of these racing games has a must-play stamp on it. Oh no. That must mean something so spectacular that, one game is just like, inherently better than the other because it has a must play from Metacritic, slapped on it. And then they say, when was the last PlayStation first party game that hit 90 plus? Exactly. Quality. Them 88s are good though. Wait, does Metacritic not count this week? Hard to keep. It's just trolls, man. I honestly believe that this person is just trying to start a war, a console war, to get impressions on social media. And if they're not, if they really are this, I guess, arrogant and ignorant, I mean, that's crazy. Listen, you got like I said, a 4-point score difference. That's not much. We're not talking about like in the 70s and in the 90s. Then I'd be like, okay, that's a pretty big difference. If we were talking like Gran Turismo Sport compared to like, a Forza game, even then though, it's a poor comparison because like I said, they're two different style of games. But even then, it'd be at least a little bit more like, okay, you might have a point. But when you have like Gran Turismo 7 is barely under the 90s, like just barely on Metacritic. And again, is Metacritic the one all and be all for, deciding whether a game is good or not? I don't think so. And then you got Forza Horizon 5, which is just barely over the 90s, right? So they're kind of really close in the same range if you think about it. And again, they're two different games, guys. Like, I've played both. I can tell you, they're two different style of games. You may prefer Forza Horizon 5. You may prefer Gran Turismo 7. You may love both equally. You may love both, but not equal. Like, there's so many variations. It's all subjective, and reviews are subjective. You can go on Metacritic and be like, all right, well, it has an overall score of 88. This one has a 92. But at the end of the day, all of those reviews under that category, all those critic reviews are subjective opinions. There's just someone's experience with the game, and they're all subjective, right? You could have someone under Gran Turismo 7, for example, that reviewed Gran Turismo 7 who preferred Forza Horizon 5 and vice versa. You know what I mean? It could just come down to a preference. Someone could give Gran Turismo 7 a 9 and give Forza Horizon 5 an 8, and vice versa. Someone else could give Forza Horizon 5 like a 9.5 and Gran Turismo 7 like an 8, 8.5. It's all preference. It's all subjective. So to me, it's just crazy. I wanted to talk about this because I thought it was absolutely insane that, you know, I've seen so many of these threads. These are just two examples, by the way. And I didn't even show you the threads. I mean, you go through the threads and people are going off the chain about it. And it's just like this huge war. And I've seen thread after thread after thread about this. And it's kind of concerning that, you know, Metacritic is going to get, you know, user score review bombed like Horizon Forbidden West, which, by the way, Horizon ended up getting patched for a lot of the, you know, launch bugs that were there. And a lot of people admit that the game, you know, a lot of people that are not just, you know, toxic, you know, whatever, even people that you maybe prefer Xbox, but they're also a fan of what PlayStation has to offer. Even a lot of people are admitting that, you know, for Horizon Forbidden West, in their opinion, deserves a 9. And even if it's not a 9, whoop-de-doo, man, it's a great game. And there's other games on Xbox that are great as well. All that to say, I have no idea why these, you know, small groups of people get so worked up and fired up over these things. It's just crazy to me. At the end of the day, if you prefer Xbox, play Xbox. If you prefer PlayStation, play PlayStation. If you prefer a racing game like Gran Turismo 7, that's a little bit more of an actual, like, kind of realistic racing simulator, play that. If you prefer more of a arcadey, open world, street racing kind of, you know, experience, go with Forza Horizon. If you like both, play both. Who cares, man? Stop making all these wars, guys. It's crazy to me. You know, stop fighting over it and being like, hey, you guys over there, you suck. Hey, no, you suck. It's stupid. It's arrogant, and it's unfathomable in my mind. Because I mean, at the end of the day, I love games. I don't care where the games are. If Xbox releases great games, I'm playing those. If PlayStation does, I'm playing those. Just play whatever games that you're into, have fun with them, and let's just have a good time. Let's have a blast, man. That's what it's all about, right? At the end of the day, that's what games are all about. So have fun with whatever games you're playing. Let me know what you guys are playing recently. We know whatever it is and whatever console it is. Maybe you're playing multiple games on multiple consoles. Let me know in the comment section below. And if you guys are new around here, be sure to subscribe for more gaming content. We talk about the games. We have discussions like this, gaming news, and things like that. But we also play the games, walkthroughs, playthroughs, let's plays, streams, different things like that as well. So it's always a good time, and I hope you guys will stick around for more. Until the next one, friends, game on. Thanks for watching.